western horizon with a look of concern upon his face.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. We've got Stormy Sea. This one's favourite screen.
Yeah, I like that.
Blech. Blech.
Makes you seasick.
Okay, so Soshan calls you over. Not that there's far to go since you're only on a very small ship, but he calls you over and points towards the western horizon, offering you the spyglass that he's been borrowing from Fafuk. Says somebody's following us. It would be safe to assume it's one of the pirate captains from Jahakka Bay. No doubt they'll do their best to ensure we don't live to divulge the location of their hideout. And indeed, in the distance on the horizon, you can see a ship.
Do we want to unleash a pass without trace? I mean, is it daytime now? Is it
It's
evening?
daytime, so it's morning.
Morning. Okay.
It's not going to really work on the water, though, is it?
No, it won't.
It's going to make the boat invisible, is it?
No.
No, but if they can't see the rest of us, they might assume it's a different boat.
Well, I doubt they can actually see individuals anyway at this point. Like I say, it's you can only just see it as a ship. You can tell there's a ship, but it must be it's quite a long way away.
How quick's it gaining?
It says it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. He says I'm not sure how long it's been following us. It must have caught. If it is them, they must have caught up with us yesterday or during the night.
Do you think we'd be able to keep in front of them until we got to Port Nyanzaru?
If it's one of the pirate ships, their ship's faster than the sloop, and it's unlikely we'll be able to outdistance them for long.
What are our options?
He goes. Soshan starts. He wanders over to the two children sailors and starts talking to them, leaving you to discuss things
I
amongst
think
yourselves.
our only option probably would be to make land. We might have to set up an ambush.
I mean,
one thing to bear in mind is I think we're all still got at least one level of exhaustion.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Far away from Nyanzaru.
I think we're about a day away, aren't we?
Soshan tells you that you should reach. If all goes well, you should reach Port Nyanzaru by late afternoon.
got to survive the next 10 hours.
I think come all the way to Nyanzaru, will they?
Wow. If I don't know if I can't remember if I got any memorized.
Soshan doubts that, but it's there's quite a bit of distance before we get there. If they can catch us before we get to get close enough to port, there's not a lot we can do.
Take it. Nyanzaru's got its own navy, has it?
No.
Oh,
Well, we do have options. They now come into the really weird realm of options now. So we've all got water breathing on us, thanks to Cade. How rough are the seas? I could cast water walking.
Yeah, it will be hard to walk.
I'm just thinking, depending on the prevailing winds, being hard to walk, but we could walk into the wind, like directly into it. So they'd have to do that tacking thing to try and keep up to us. So we'd be at half speed, but the ship would be like struggling. We've got water breathing, so we could like tie a rope, toss it over the side, and all of us hang off the rope under the water. So they come across the sloop, and the sloop's empty, and they're like, "Well, shit, they must have disappeared." Marie Celeste scenario.
Yeah, let's just take the sloop then.
Let's
Well,
take a sloop home.
No, I know, but they take the sloop, but then when they least expect it, we come out from under the sloop and sort of do our worst. Yeah, so my options are hide underwater or actually go out and walk our way. So I think the option is make for land as fast as we can. And then,
How far are we from land?
Like a good 8-10 hours.
So
From
we are
Nyanzaru.
no,
Yeah.
but any land? Is there no land near?
There's probably land closer, but
Okay.
we're on the coast, aren't we?
yeah, but it's a case of somewhere you can sort of. There's not many places where you can get ashore.
Why? Is it rocky or what?
Yeah, it's clear. It's sort of clear. There's not many There's not many landing
Like-
spots around around Chult.
Not many bays.
No. Tends to be cliffs.
I think our only option at the minute then is probably to continue on. And if we do spot somewhere where we can make land before we make Port Nyanzaru, then discuss the option of reaching land and setting up an ambush.
Can we tell if it is actually one of them pirate ships?
Sorry.
We've seen. Can we tell if it is one of them pirate ships? We've seen.
Not yet. It must be like what 30, 40 miles or more away.
oh, we wouldn't see it then because it's curt. We wouldn't see it.
Like I say, it's pretty much just on the visible horizon.
Is it not a
Could be
case of
anybody then.
if we can't see them, they can't see us? We are smaller.
Well, possibly.
No, but no, we're on looking at the deck. They'll have someone in a crow's nest.
Still a lot smaller than a full-size ship, though, so possibly they wouldn't have sighted us yet.
True.
Unless they've got that mage on board that's casting some sort of spell.
Mm.
I'd say we carry on for the moment and just keep an eye on it
Yeah, not much else we can do.
until we can actually identify it.
I mean, thaumaturgy, which is generally speaking one of the more useless cantrips I've ever come across. Manifest a minor wonder, sign of supernatural power within range, can create one and follow magical effects. Okay. Can make your voice loud, cause flames to flicker, harmless tremors in the ground, instantaneous sound, blah blah blah. Instantaneously cause unlocked door window to fly open, slam shut, alter the appearance. So, gust of wind, would it create like a steady gust of wind? Could I? Because I think we talked about it last time. I was using thaumaturgy to perhaps give ourselves a bit of a boost. if I keep continuously casting thaumaturgy for the next 8 hours, will it sort of push us in the give us a bit of a boost? I can cast the spell multiple times, and I can have 3 of its 1-minute effects active at a time.
Armless tremors, sound, cause noise. I'm not seeing the wind bit.
Well, I think we chatted about the unlocked door window to fly open or slammed shut. I think, or was it Flavor when you said a gust of wind slammed the door shut or flung it open?
Yeah. It's more like a. Why is
A
it
force.
Yeah, a magical force.
Would the magical
Strange.
force instantaneously shove against our sails if I casted on that?
It could instantaneously, but it would also instantly not be there either. So it's kind of like flicking the sails.
Fine. I could make my voice really loud and yell back, "Oi, are you pirates?"
I do have shape water, which is a cantrip. But I don't know if that's going to be any good for us. I mean, it could it cut through the waves? How big's the ship?
It's a sloop, so it's small.
Well, we keep saying sloop, but I'm not sure exactly what a sloop is, so I'm going to have to Google that now.
A sloop is probably. I mean, it's a small ship, but it's not. It's not tiny. It's probably a sloop is probably about 20-30 foot long.
Two
Thinking
sails,
if I
head
could use
sail and main sail.
the cantrip to, hello, hi.
70 feet. No, I think the sloop is bigger than we. I don't think sloop is an accurate description. I think we're probably more on what's called a cutter.
Yeah.
Which is smaller. Yeah, I think a cutter is probably more accurate.
Yes. Cutter sailing vessel distinguished from a sloop by having more than one sail, usually, although this is single-masted, like a sloop.
Yeah, cutters have one mast.
Yeah.
Typically.
2 sails, 2 sails, 1 mast.
There are lots of kinds of cutters. One of the most famous one is a Bristol cutter, which is known for being very rugged.
Yeah. So
they are 34 feet long.
Yeah.
With a beam of oh, hang on. Oh no, that's sorry, I'm trying to read up rapidly on cutters.
Yeah, they're about 30 foot.
Yeah, and they can be rowed, it says.
Yeah. It's got.
So basically, the cutter is a category inside the sloop.
No.
Yeah, cutter has 2 foresails, whereas a sloop only has 1 and is smaller as well. They both have a mainsail and then have 4 sails, but a cutter has 2 and it's bigger.
Oh, is a cutter bigger than a sloop?
Yeah, I believe so.
The sloop, when I googled it, was like
sloop.
30
I think
meters.
a sloop is bigger actually.
Yeah, I think cutters are shorter.
Yeah, a sloop. I think a sloop was like a common sort of small. It's commonly used as like a small pirate ship in the Caribbean.
Okay. Yeah, because here it says cutters are most commonly private yachts, which I think is probably on a much smaller side than a.
Yeah, it's my fault. I was calling it a sloop.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's
awesome.
Like I said,
it's a one must open deck sailing ship, which is how long in your story?
It's about 30 foot long.
Okay, so it's like a small sailing yacht. Okay.
Yeah, 20 to 30 foot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's not a big vessel. I've
No.
been on couple of them, 32 feet ones, and it's very rough even with a keel.
Right, so shape water. What did you say? Shape water.
Mm-hmm. It would just try and make the whole ride a bit smoother.
Is it shape or control water?
Shape.
It's not in my spell list.
Cantrip. It's definitely shape water.
Druid, sorcerer, wizard. It's not a cleric spell.
Oh, is it under the character under the class then? Under druid class then? 'Cause it's not showing as a spell at all.
I've just popped it in chat.
Shape water, transmutation cantrip, range 30 feet, component, semantic, instantaneous or 1 hour. Choose an area of water you can see within range that fits within a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in one of the following ways. Instantly move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. This movement does not have to have enough force to cause. This movement doesn't have enough force to cause damage. Cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at your direction. This change lasts for 1 hour. Change the water's colour or opacity. The water can be changed in the same way throughout. Lasts for 1 hour. Freeze the water provided there are no creatures in it, and the water unfreezes in 1 hour. So not really anything. You can't affect enough of the water to,
Its trajectory, as it were.
or alter the operation of the ship.
If we do get in pursuit, though, I'm going to leave some icy mines behind.
That'd be excellent. Right, well, I suppose we're just going to run for it. See if we can keep ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, Shoshan rejoins you after he's finished speaking to the two sailors, and he nods in agreement and says, like I say, the pirates. If it's the pirate vessel, it's faster than us, and the sloop, our boat's not gonna. It's unlikely to be able to outdistance them for long, but hopefully just for long enough.
What's our speed?
About 3-4 miles an hour.
And what's that ship's speed?
You don't know.
And you said they are 31 miles away?
Well, you don't know exactly, but like I say, it's on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is the direction we're heading the most efficient use of the wind, or should we just change direction and just try and make best speed, even if it's not exactly where we want to go?
Assume the two sailors are making best use of the weather to get you to move you forward.
I was just more thinking, do we want to change direction and see if the ship follows us? And is that something we want to give a go?
They have to be like 2.1. So it's more than twice as fast as us to catch us in that 8-hour time period.
Yeah. I mean, it may be. Maybe they ride the swells better because we're a smaller boat. So every time we're sort of up and down a wave, it slows us, while their boat has more momentum and kind of,
Just do it.
But
maybe.
listen, do the pirates come near to this big port? So how likely it is the pirates? I don't think so. It's the pirates because this is a big port, and would they risk this?
Well, either way, that's not going to change what we're currently doing, which is
There's
trying
not
to
much
get best time.
we can do. We just have to make a run for it, and let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, exactly.
In social, I mean, social says you can't be certain, but it would be better to err on the side of caution and assume that they are the pirates.
We can keep an eye on them with a spyglass anyway, can't we?
And like you already said, they're probably gonna do the best they can to stop you if they can, because you know they won't want you to reveal the location of their hideout, which, as Captain Lascalier said, it's their greatest asset.
So here's a radical thought. I mean, while we're sailing, obviously, you know, we've probably got a couple of hours before, you know, they get close enough for practical purposes. You know, so while we're sailing, making best time and all the rest, you know, talking plan of action. So the first thing is, obviously, you know, Fafuk wants total vengeance on them all. You know, that's like zero question on that part. So, you know, could Soshin describe someone to me well enough that I could cast Ascending to that person, and like maybe his mother, and say something like, "Hey there, you know, reaching out on behalf of Soshin, who's here with me on a small sloop heading towards Port Nyanzaru, chased by pirates. Their top secret hideaway is in the Bay of Jahakka," and just fuck them up that way. So even if we get nailed,
Yeah, I would say, I mean, my feeling on the sending spell, I mean, although it's a little bit vague with some way it says someone you are familiar, I would say you've got to have met them at least once, and you've got, in fact, more than just once, because it says you have to be familiar with them.
okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. So that was the first thought, you know, just spitballing. You know, is there someone else I could reach out to, but we don't really know anyone else in Chilter with turtles. And I don't think the turtles are coming to rescue us. Or those little talky snake things, whatever the fuck they were. The other option is, if it does turn out to be pirates, then, you know, do we sort of just keep with our nose pointing forward until they catch up to us, or do we start sort of laying in some ambushes with things like, we've still got those jars of alchemist's fire. You know, nothing distracts a sailor faster than a fire on board his boat. So, you know, I'm thinking fireball the sails. You know, fuck up their sails. They're certainly not going to be making time at all, really. You know, sort of do that before they get within firing distance of us, and then make our getaway. So we let them chase us until they get just outside of attack range, and then we attack them to disable them. You know, fuck up their rudder, fireball their sails, dump alchemist's fire on top of the pilot. I don't know, all that stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking something similar.
I mean, Obold with water walking on you, and okay, you can't really do the step of the teleporty thing that you do. You can't really do that in bright sunlight.
No.
But you know, a monk with water walking would be pretty damn effective, I would have thought, in a boat fight.
Yeah. Higher levels, I think they can get something similar to that anyway.
So, you know, there's plenty we can do once they're kind of within range. So, I mean, does Soshin have any, and his mates have any ideas of ways to stuff up a boat to stop it pursuing us if it came to that?
Sail. You have to destroy the sails. No sail, no wind, no movement.
He just thinks that they're going to be in with a bigger boat and better equipped. They're going to be in a far better position to disable us from range than we would.
Okay, so they probably got what kind of weapons do they have on their boat? It's
So they have, they at least have ballistas.
okay. So that's our first target. Second target. Take out the ballista.
What's range or a
Probably have-
ballista?
If a heavy crossbow is like 80 feet to 120, is it something like that? Well, I
It's
imagine a
like-
ballista is going to be quite a fair bit.
yeah,
Like
got a
300.
much better
It's like
range than
3.
that. Yeah.
I think it's like 300 feet. I mean, a Roman ballista could shoot something crazy like 400 meters. I think that's like 12, like 1,000 feet.
Range 120 short range, 480 foot long range.
Yeah, big game. Yeah, shit. So that's still quite short, relatively speaking. That's what 120 meters, like longer than a football pitch.
But long enough.
So yeah, so you know, options, various options. Hmm. I mean, this is idle chit chat while we're trying to make best speed. So
Okay, so you've learned today that a chase at sea is not a quick or exciting affair. It's almost midday and your small ship is, Social informs you that your small ship is finally pulling into the opening of the Bay of Chult.
can he tell?
Sorry?
How can he tell?
They're familiar with the water. With the waters.
Lives there.
The water changes color or tastes different.
I imagine it means coastline and that sort of
Yeah.
area as well.
So these sailors, they've been sailing up and down here all their lives.
Oh, so we can see land.
Yeah, you can see land because the ship's been sort of sailing within sight of land to aid with navigation. Also, because it's only a small ship, so to be sailing too far away from land would be very dangerous in case the ship,
Gotcha.
something happened to the ship.
Like a capsized or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's aids in navigation and all sorts of reasons. Soshin hands you the spyglass. Whoever's closest. Who's the closest? Who's the closest? Let's have a look. Obold. So yeah, so Soshin hands the spyglass to Obold and nods, says it's one of the pirate ships.
We'll have a look then through the spyglass.
Okay, right. You peer through the spyglass and take a while to adjust the focus, and after a while, you recognise it. It takes you a while, but you recognise it. It's Captain Lascalair's ship. It's the Sturge.
I thought it might have been his.
So it's so the Sturge is much closer now. It's although it's still more than somehow it's managed to close the distance quite rapidly, but it's still about a mile distant. And worryingly, the winds have recently dropped considerably, and the ship's sail just flaps and flutters. Yet you can clearly see the sails of the Sturge are swollen full of wind and driving her ever closer.
Yes, he's got the stuff we know.
And calmer waters as well. Passing through as though it's calm water.
Right, Soshin takes the spyglass back and keeps a watchful eye on the other ship.
I'll mention to the others, I say it's Captain Lascalair's ship. I thought it would be if it was a pirate following us.
Hmm.
It also
Right.
seems to be flying along with a good head of wind, where ours seems to be dropping off. So I think their priest is obviously making their journey faster, which is why they've caught up so quickly.
Well, we disabled the lock ship, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I mean, they're a mile away.
A mile
They're
or
going
more,
to
yeah.
be. They're going to be in range once they get to, we're guessing, like let's say 300 yards. Like 200 odd meters. The ballistas are probably going to start up.
So they get, they've gained quite a lot of ground, but it's still quite sort of gradual.
Can we make it to ground before they catch us?
Well, so that's the hope. We're gonna keep going.
Is there more of us that can help out with rowing, or is it just still just the two that can row?
Right,
Or
he nods. He says there's enough oars. It might be the time to for everyone to man the oars and row like your lives depend upon it.
we'll do that though.
Only had my gauntlets.
Storm the ship they might have on board.
How many sailors on Lascala's ship, considering we know it fairly well?
How many? What? Sorry, sails.
How many
Sailors.
sailors?
There's about 30 crew.
Yeah, it's going to be too much for us to go on board. We'll end up looking like pincushions before we've taken down too many of them. Man the oars and then just get going.
I mean, what spells? Yeah. I mean, while we're rowing, I'll cast guidance and stuff to try and give people a boost. But I mean, Cade, what spells do you have available? I've got hold person, spiritual weapon, warding bond is now useless, but I've still got it memorized because I haven't got the platinum rings anymore, so I can't use that. I got mirror image, pass without trace, blink, dispel magic, sending, spirit guardians, water walk.
Fireball, fireball, fireball.
Do you have flying?
Yes, I have fly, counter spell, hypnotic pattern, slow, hold person, misty step.
How many people does it work on that hypnotic pattern?
It's as many as inside the cube, and they fail. It's a 30-foot cube.
Does it stay in one position?
You can.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yes. No. It appears for a moment and vanishes.
Oh yeah.
So each creature in the area who fails the wisdom saving throw.
So here's a thought. Right, do you and me slip over the side? I mean, I can't swim, so I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. You slip over the side, me
There might
maybe
be
hanging onto a small
slight
barrel,
flaw with that already.
holding onto a small barrel for sort of buoyancy, like just keep underwater, and then when the ship gets close enough, pop up out the water and just blast the deck with fireballs. I'll blink into the hold with jars of alchemist's fire and burn it to the fucking ground. So while you're fireballing the top, I'm firebombing the hold, and then blink out. It's all done in like under a minute.
I have only 3 level 3 spell slots, so there's 3 fireballs and that's it.
Yeah, I'm figuring 3 fireballs raking the deck, just bang, 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 front to back.
You have to be
Well, I
flying
started-
though as well, won't you?
Sorry?
You have to be flying as well.
Well, no,
So-
because
so it's trying to climb up the side of the ship in
no, you
well
won't
in
climb.
sea.
You won't climb. You just cast from from the sea, because you're aiming at the sails. So you're placing your explosions just above the deck, like bang, bang, bang. So you get whoever's on the deck plus the sails above them.
Listen, I would aim all fireballs to the bridge, where all the officers are. I mean, the captain and whatnot. Plus, I
There's
could
only 2 there.
Just aim them all around the ship's wheel. Disable it.
Yeah, that's
you,
what and I would disable, the wheel as well, because if you have 3 fireballs there, that's like 24, hit dice damage. So that would burn everything there. Plus, it would hurt the people as well badly, rather than trying to, one at the forecast, one at the middle, one at the aft. No, same location.
So I mean, between the 2 of us, I mean, it does mean that we are sort of water breathing, maybe water walking, but water walking leaves us exposed because we're above the water.
And the terrain would be classed as difficult at the very best.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a better idea would be, to be honest, if we were going to do that, which I don't think we will, unless it's absolutely necessary, would be for Cade to use fly, have the alchemist fire as well, and then just fly straight up, and then get above the ship and come at it from behind, and then just fireball the captain's the wheel, and then just drop the alchemist fire onto the ship as he's passing back over, coming back to us.
That's not a bad idea. I was considering that. However, if we do this, I have no 3 fireballs. I have only 2.
Yeah, but you'd only need 2 to take out the wheel, as long as you hit it. And if not, then you've got the backup of the alchemist fire, which could drop on towards the wheel.
I just want to point out that Fireball's range is like, what, 120 foot?
150.
Yeah.
150.
Crossbows have, what, 400?
Crossbows? No. Light crossbows, short range is 80, and then 100 up to 150 is long.
Yeah, but all the sailors we saw were using heavy crossbows.
The majority were light. There were only the couple that were heavy.
Ah, okay.
If Cade gets hit by a crossbow bolt, though, he'll have to make a concentration check.
Yeah.
Remain flying, and then he could just sink.
You could breathe water all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, where he meets the creatures.
So Soshan's concern is that this is all well and good, but only if we haven't got a ship. No matter how much water you can breathe, how much magic you can get. We're stuck out at sea.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a last resort. We're not going to do that now. That's
Yeah.
just as the last resort if we need to do it.
We need to go to shore and disappear in the jungle. That's what
Yeah.
I think that's the best option we have.
Yeah, I do agree. So we can at least put up a Learman's hut. Yeah.
So that's why we need to keep rowing. We need to get.
Yeah, we're discussing this while we're rowing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is what we're saying. In fact, Soshan takes the last pair of oars and joins you.
Right, quick question. Does anyone want me to cast water walking on everybody here? So in case we have to, we jump over the side of the boat and leg it towards the side, or do we rather sink under the water and try and water walk in a couple 100 meters of water?
Hang on. How long does water walk last?
1 hour.
How far are we from shore? What's the closest shore?
It's so you're like probably a couple of miles at least.
Okay, so that's 1 hour, because our speed was like 3.5 miles, and it's dropped, so it's 2 miles, let's say.
Difficult terrain, yeah.
Yeah.
So are we going faster in the sloop than we were in the cutter or the boat than we would walking?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be like I said, it'd just be really hard going.
If we're going at about 4 knots, that's just over 4 miles an hour.
I mean, for instance, if the sea was like it is in this animation, you just wouldn't have a prayer again anyway.
Like the world's most volatile bouncy castle.
Yeah. You just be getting
Yeah,
thrown everywhere.
Yeah. No, appreciated.
So I think I would wait with that water walk when we are a little bit closer to shore, okay? And cast it just in case we have to jump overboard and, make it to the shore.
Yeah. Totally fine. I just want to make sure everyone understands the options we have available.
Because I think if we are on land, their advantage disappears regarding, at the moment they have the range, the speed, bigger boat, on land they don't have any of those.
Social says we just need to make it far enough into the bay.
Why is that?
Because they're only going to pursue us so far.
They won't go into the bay because while they don't have a navy, they probably will have some sort of guard ships for the merchant ships that come in.
So
Okay.
The bay's quite big, but
Okay, let's just shut up and row.
They'll have some sort of harbour patrol, I would imagine. So just carry on rowing, Phil.
okay, right. So you continue to row. You strain your arms, your back, pulling the ship through the water. Well, I think we can all have a bit around the constitution checks.
With disadvantage.
Oh dear, yeah, he's got disadvantage, hasn't he?
Yeah, you forgot this.
You want to add a D? Can I add a? People add a D4 to their checks for guidance.
Is that not working?
Or is this more like a blessed type situation?
So it's an ability check.
Yeah.
With 1d4.
So everybody's ability checks are currently at disadvantage.
I've tried the disadvantage little button on the roller in the chat, and it's only giving me one roll, so I assume that it's only showing the one dice. So I'm assuming it's rolled that once.
I'll tell you, I'll try it myself.
So do we add a D4 to that, or what is it, please?
It's a D4 if Phil allows it, considering that am I rowing or am I casting guidance kind of situation.
Yeah.
Oh, you already cast it, didn't you?
Yeah. So my question is, guidance is like one per round, one person per round. So my question is, do you want me to be casting guidance continuously on everybody, or do you want me to be rowing?
Yeah. So it's rowing or casting. Can't do both.
Just have to take it as rowing, I would imagine.
Plus, it requires your concentration.
Yep. So as soon as you cast, yeah, okay, it's too tricky. It's probably better just to row. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I got an 18 for mine.
Yeah.
Mine is 13.
Okay. But yeah. So using the advantage disadvantage button on the roller, it works to all that. Just shows you the one roll.
Okay. Cool.
19.
19. Okay. Right. Fair enough. Okay. Right. So some of you struggle. Some of you manage to keep up the pace at but some of you fall out, lose the rhythm, and which doesn't help. But you're still contributing something towards the momentum from the sails, and you strain and struggle over the next couple of hours. Social every so often stopping to watch the sturge slowly growing bigger.
He doesn't have to stop. We're facing the ship as it's chasing us.
Well, I mean, lifts his head up. He don't literally completely stop.
Cheeky fucker sneaking a break.
Yeah, fag break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Every so
We are rowing for our life, and you stop for a fag break. What kind of example you are a sailor? Come on.
so every so often he has a bit of an exchange with the two Chiltern sailors. Although you don't know what they're saying. They're speaking in Chiltern, in native language. So like I say, you must have been rowing for a couple of hours, and you can tell that the sprite's still slowly gaining on you, which is no surprise really. When suddenly there's a ear-splitting, inhuman growl that seems to vibrate up through the water, rattling the very planks of your vessel.
Oh dear.
That's
Timing.
It's coming. Someone's coming to rescue us. I'm confident.
Someone's coming to fucking eat us.
I know that. But Kate is optimistic,
Right.
you know.
Sea dinosaur.
Glancing up, you can see Lascaleur's ship is getting even closer. Probably less than a quarter mile away from you now.
Bow shot range soon.
And in the distance, glancing behind you, in the distance you can see the distant coastline and the safety of port, but still hours away. Soshin suddenly turns his face with a fierce look on it. He says, "How much do you value your lives? Think fast, because payment is due."
What? What?
Do we need to throw someone overboard or what?
What the fuck's he on about? He's gonna have to please fucking explain what's going on.
Says there's no time to explain. So suddenly the ship begins to roll violently as the ocean starts to swell and waves wash over the side, threatening to swamp the boat. Yet the wind has all but died completely now.
What's coming up from the depths?
I value my life incredibly greatly, considering that our souls are going to get sucked into the soul monger and it's everlasting death with no fucking soul. I value my life a lot. What the fuck you on about?
Then gather together what you can.
What the fuck is going on? Or I'll toss you overboard.
He says we must pay tribute to the Watcher.
Okay, we've had 5 fucking days of sailing, asking you about Port Nyanzaru and all the shit we could think of about Port Nyanzaru, and now you're giving us the bum fucking rush as we come into the harbour. What the fuck is going on? I smell a fucking scam. What's going on?
Right, the sea ahead of you roils and churns, and waves crash over the bow of your ship, driven by sawtooth hills that rise from the heaving foam. Water streams off the rising crags like rivers crashing down a mountainside. At last, the emerging island stops growing in size, although the sea around still tosses your ship like a drifting feather. Then a huge blast of steam erupts from the waves, and through the drifting rainbow-crossed mist, you see an immense beak and a milky eye the size of a hogshead cask staring blindly in your direction. As the water calms, you spot a dozen or more shark fins circling your ship.
What is it? Is it some kind of pterosaur, dinosaur, or whale? Or
I'll set assertion. I'll say, what sort of tribute are you talking about here?
Says the Watcher, Arameg, demands payment.
Of what?
Money, anything that's valuable, anything you deem
oh,
valuable.
Finally. God, some useful information. It's like the guy's brains dribbled out his fucking ears all of a sudden.
Well, for money, he's screwed. Because it's all on the ship behind us, probably.
Can't we offer him the ship that's chasing us, where all our expensive shit is probably sitting? Can you tell that thing that all our money's on the big boat, not to bother with the little boat, but to go for the big boat with all the goods and gold on board? How far away is this thing from us?
Just a moment, I'll show you if I can find the
Did you
bloody
say
picture.
Aragog? Did you say
Aramag.
Aramag?
The hell is it?
Oh, is it a dragon turtle?
Hey, shit.
He's
Yeah.
funny.
There were rumours of a dragon turtle, if I remember. Were it on that map?
How far is this monster from us?
It's right next to you.
So 10 feet, 20 feet?
Well, about 20, 30 feet, maybe a bit more.
I
Right, so it
shout.
Okay,
begins.
I like to cast a spell.
It begins to slowly circle the ship.
I like to cast a spell.
Okay.
I cast hypnotic pattern on it.
Right, Soshin just runs over and just punches you straight in the face.
Hmm.
Why is that?
It says, "Don't be so stupid."
Okay.
I shout at the creature.
Oh.
I shout at the creature. All our stuff was stolen by those pirates in the big boat over there. All our goods and chattels are in the big boat over there.
Right, it starts to, like I say, it starts to circle the ship.
Okay, I throw in the water the clockwork amulet.
Okay, and it opens its mouth and bellows out in Draconic.
Oh, I've got my helmet.
Okay,
I would be able to put it on. See what it says.
okay. Does anybody else understand Draconic? I thought somebody understood Draconic.
No,
What a dead character, wasn't it?
that's a dead character, yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's a noble wanker.
Right. So Tackling slaps on his helmet, and he can understand Aramag. So Aramag demands tribute for safe passage.
I mean, we already I'll pass on this information to the other guys, but we kind of knew that already.
Can't you tell it?
Tell him
Hello.
that he can have the spoils of the ship behind us.
It don't work that way. It's only one way.
What?
It can only
Oh,
comprehend.
the helmet. Oh.
Yeah, just shout that back at him.
In
See
common.
what he says. Yeah.
Okay. Right, Soshin's like saying, "Do you not have anything? I thought there was not anything you managed to recover from the warehouse."
No, they managed to take everything valuable because they're pirates. I thought that was sort of a given.
So did the turtle took the clockwork amulet or done anything about it?
Right, when it hits the water, it bellows out something that Tackling says is more.
Fine, more. That's.
Oh
I
shit!
have this, item I want.
Was there money left in the pouch?
I think I picked up all my gold. For some reason, I've still got it in my inventory.
Me
No.
too.
No, all the gold's gone.
No, all the gold's gone.
All
Somebody's
the gold's
got
All the money has gone.
the pouch. What's it?
Paid.
Yeah. Although I'm not saying that because it's not my character.
Could I realized I had 100 gold piece pearl for casting identify. Can I roll to see if that was recovered? I
Can.
just remembered.
You can.
Oh, apart from my weapons,
Right, so Arameg continues to circle the ship, but it's now to the point that there's a small the motion has created an eddy and causing the ship to revolve at a rate matching Arameg's motion. So sort of
being dragged.
I'll throw in my crossbow bolt case with them 10 magical bolts. It's the only item I've got that's of value.
I throw in that ring of mind shielding as well.
Brought a helmet in.
Do
I have a
100
feeling the helmet will become useful though.
100 gold piece pearl. Is that still in my inventory, or is that gone? It rolled twice for some reason.
Where's your roll?
It'll be a 30.
30. No, you still got that. Surprisingly.
Got rations.
I hold up the 100 GP pearl. I assume being a pearl, the dragon thing can appreciate it. And I go, a pearl, you bastard! Throw it at the fucking dragon turtle's face. Can I roll to attack the dragon turtle with my 100 gold piece pearl?
And I throw in the ring of the trickster as well. So I thrown in 3 magic.
Ooh, 24 for a pearl throw. Do I
Okay.
hit the dragon turtle with my
So-
pearl?
It pings
Phil,
on
I,
its
ha-
head.
I, ha-
Yeah, go on,
I
Phil,
have-
go on.
I have thrown in 3 magic items.
Okay.
And I've thrown in them 10 crossbow bolts, the magical ones.
And I've tossed in 100 gold piece pearl.
Okay, right. Aramag starts to slow his circling of the boat and he says, "The debt is paid."
In it common.
Oh no, tackling translates.
I've got
Did
my
he
helmet.
toss the helmet?
Not yet.
No, I didn't toss
Okay.
it.
Go,
Right. Right, the
go
gag-
toss the helmet.
The gargantuan sea monster submerges without further talk, causing your ship to pitch and roll violently until the sea calms again. Peering over the side, you can see the enormous disc of its shell swimming down to the clear water until it disappears into the lightless depths, only to resurface moments later, burst into the surface in front of the approaching Sturge, whose crew desperately tries to bring the ship about. Moving faster than something so large has any right to, its head darts out from its jagged shell, and its curved sharp beak, punctuated by teeth that are longer than a man is tall, snaps at the pirate vessel, and snapping 2 of the masts as if they were matchsticks, tearing them away along with the sails and several unfortunate crewmen. An unnatural wind suddenly catches in the remaining sail of Lascalar's ship, and it barely manages to avoid another assault from the Titan, which finally dies beneath the waves once more as the Sturge turns and limps away.
I
Shall we
turned
attack them? Let's attack the sturge.
I turned to Soshon. What was his name? This guy who was
Soshon.
sailing. Yeah. So
Ocean.
I slapped him in the back of the head. Why didn't you tell about this monster?
It was big
I
for that one.
didn't want to worry you.
Well,
That
you're always
was-
big for that one,
That was a
With-
big mistake by you.
with what we've had to throw overboard to appease it.
So you owe us all these items now.
Says, I got you here alive, haven't I?
We could have done many different things.
Yes. So you fucked up.
We could have done many different things.
You had 5 days to tell us about this and you didn't.
We could have set land earlier. We could have
So
at
I
least
couldn't
thought about it.
guarantee that it would turn up.
You could have told us about it. It could have made some educated plans based on full information.
It cost me 3 magic items. You owe me those magic items now.
Cost me 100 gold pieces, you bastard.
I
So-
showed him a paper. This is where you have to sign your debt.
Right, it looks at you and just.
I think we should take this up with his management.
Right,
Gonna complain to his mother.
he,
I lose
wa-
mum on him.
he walks off and ignores you, and he goes and celebrates for the two sailors.
I think he's got it the wrong way around. We got him here.
Yeah,
Without us, he'd still be stuck back in that cave.
yeah.
Or executed.
Waiting
Well,
to be ransomed back.
Yeah, he'd been ransomed. His buddies would have been dead though.
Who is he working for?
He's
Himself, I
the,
assume.
but he's the son of one of the merchant princes, isn't he?
Oh, there we go. That's where we can collect the money or the items from. Brilliant. Do we know who his father is?
No.
No, just
His mother.
his mother's one of the merchant princes.
Oh, mother. Sorry.
Well, let's not be too sore about it. We don't want to spoil our stay.
Says the guy who didn't sacrifice anything.
The guy who lost most of the valuable stuff.
Did you? What did you lose?
Lost the
Lost
ring
the
and the
ball.
gauntlet.
Yeah, he lost the ring and the gauntlets.
Tribute. There you go. Are you sure we don't want to stack the sturge while it's limping away?
No.
Bunch of sailors killed, masts snapped, easy pickings.
I don't think that'll be that easy. Besides, if we go after them and come back, well, we have to pay again.
I think it's better if we just make our way to the harbor.
Yeah. Just leave him
Oh,
to it, get to the
okay.
harbour.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Right, so the sailors get the boat underway again, and the wind, when as the sturge sails away, the wind seems to pick up again.
I stop rowing.
Right, Soshin comes over and saying stores all the oars away, saying, "Yeah, you don't have to row anymore." Right, he ignores Cade and sort of slaps Lou High and Tackling on the back and says, "Today is a good day, and tonight we shall eat fine food, and drink tage, and rest upon silken beds."
Hopefully.
Can't wait.
Right, he's so Soshin spends the rest of the time on the ship, on the boat, ignoring Cade or just staring at him with a bit of look of disdain on his face.
Kafuk retrieves his telescope.
Okay, right, he hands it you back and thanks you for its use.
Yeah, he gets eyeballed.
Right, within a few hours, the sloop is moored on the docks of Port Nyanzaru. Let's get rid of this ocean bit. Standing on the docks in Port Nyanzaru, you find yourselves in a bustling tropical city under the blazing hot sun. Let's see, where are we? Chapter's gone. Ah.
Nice picture.
Where's my text gone? Okay. Yep, so standing on the docks in Port Nyanzaru, you find yourselves in a bustling tropical city under a blazing hot sun. The familiar sounds of a harbour, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels.
T-Rex just being ridden down the street.
Unnoticed.
Heavy
Well,
barrels
it-
rolling across cobblestones, mingle with voices and voices shouting. That's too loud, that. Voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it almost sound musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruits mixes with the wharfside smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Beyond all that, Port Nyanzaru is an explosion of colour. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink, or their walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colourful flowers, or is draped in leafy, flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing, adorned with feathers and shells, perform on street corners. Multicoloured pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children nearby, dressed in feathered hats and capes, races past you, squealing in delighted terror as a street performer, costumed as a big toothed lizard, stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing and singing. As your feet leave the wooden docks and touch the hot stones of the street, a young boy loitering nearby and absently munching on one of the juiciest looking fruits you've ever seen catches sight of you and suddenly leaps to his feet. No more than 12, with dark skin and bright brown eyes, he approaches you and speaks in common with a thick Chilcoltan accent. Are you the heroes from Saltmarsh?
Yeah.
That, how does he know?
Prince Otamu pays me to find you, and he hands you an envelope closed with a wax seal.
Prince Otamu.
Have we heard of this name before?
It's one of the merchants, isn't it?
Give me a second. Tamu was the magic and law and knowledge who was Sildar's contact.
Yeah. The guy we are looking for.
First, I want to find out, what do we do about the sloop? Can we sell it and split the profits? Because I want to be fair, of course. Spoils of war and all that. Soshin, how do we go about selling a boat?
It says you could advertise it with the harbour master, perhaps.
He doesn't want to share in the spoils of selling a captured vessel.
He just like shakes his head.
Okay.
Says give it to the little one.
How much is a boat like this worth?
Says, to be honest, I'm not sure.
Hey kid, how much is this boat worth?
Says, I don't know.
God. I hand the envelope to somebody to read. If the kid's offering it, maybe Tacklin. No, you can't read, Tacklin, so hand it to Luzai. And then
You can't read.
I'm just assuming it's barbarian. I don't know, Tacklin, could you read? Has he
Yes.
professed any evidence of being able to read?
I can read.
Oh, wow. Fook looks shocked. Well, okay then.
Soshin says something to the two sailors, and they wander off.
So, Soshin, is this our parting now?
Says feel. So if this is where we part, this is where we part.
I offered us food and drink and rest.
Silken cushions, I distinctly remember.
You're welcome. You're welcome in my mother's home.
Awesome.
Some
Where's
more
that
than
from?
others.
I look around. Who is he, talking about?
We'll take that offer. Lovely.
Yeah, until we find a place of our own, that would be most welcome. So, where's the harbour master then? I want to try and get rid of this boat and get some coin in our pockets.
So Soshin points in the direction of the harbour master. Meanwhile, this little lad is sort of stood, looking expectantly.
Let's open the letter and read it.
I want him a tip.
Somebody,
Yeah.
is somebody looking at the letter or not?
I would if they let me.
Yeah, we'll have a read.
Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll have a read.
Okay. Okay, right. You break the seal on the letter and on the envelope and open up the letter. Right. Inside is a letter written in a strong and confident hand. Travellers from the northern shores, I beg thee, please, come visit me at the Atamo estate when you arrive in Chult. This letter shall grant you entrance. I am a friend of a mutual acquaintance, Mistress Sylvain, and have an interest in your mission to find the source of the death curse. I believe we can assist one another. The bearer of this message can guide you to my villa. Sincerely, Merchant Prince Wakanga Otamu.
Mm.
Okay. Excellent. So, do we want to go straight there and then meet up with Soshin's mommy later so she can pay us back for the shit we have to toss at the dragon turtle?
I think you should try to, sell the boat and visit this gentleman who sent the letter and go to that, Soshan's mother after. That's what I would do.
What do you guys think?
I think we'd be better off going there first.
Because if we just abandon the ship here, people are gonna take it and you won't see any money, and we are basically penniless at the
I
moment.
don't think anybody's going to steal it, are they?
Okay.
Well, let's ask the kid. Like, give us 20 minutes. We need to talk to the harbour master. Then you can take it to your master. Over to the harbour master and say, "Excuse me, sir. We'd like to sell a boat. How fast can we get rid of it?"
Okay. So you should be able to see a map of Port Nyanzaru now.
Not yet. It's 50%.
60.
Ah.
It's loading.
Wait 2 minutes. Be right back.
Grab another drink, 1 second. one thing.
Oh,
I've
I
still
can
got it.
see the harbor.
One thing I've still got it back in my mind is I'm still supposed to be looking for that total wick goggles. I don't want to die of snake poison. Random.
So where are we on this map, please?
So let me get. So this is the harbour ward,
Hmm.
and your boat is docked about here. Oops.
Okay, cool.
The harbour master's office is here.
Yeah, that's not far. How many ships are in the harbor roughly? Just the estimate.
Nine or 10 just on the map.
There'd be about 10, 15 ships of various sizes. They all look like merchant ships.
Mhm, okay. Is there any other ship which is similar size to ours?
No.
Okay, cool. So it might be quite a rare item to sell. And is this a chain here blocking the
It
harbor?
is. It is a chain, yeah.
Wow, very, very nice feature. So
Yeah.
let's head to the harbor master.
And in the centre of the harbour here is a huge statue of looks like a king in full regalia, resplendent in a loincloth of leopard skin and a headdress of feathers, shells, and teeth, draped in a cape of fur and monkey tails, wielding a shield and some kind of weird-looking spear.
Hmm.
Why
I
is it a
turned.
weird looking spear?
It's got like a long, broad spearhead and quite a short shaft.
Oh, like an assegai.
I asked this young gentleman, who is that statue?
It says it is Nanabusu, the great king.
Is he dead or alive?
Is long dead. Is an old the king, one of the founding kings, original kings of Chult.
Oh, okay.
Have we sold the boat yet?
No.
We haven't even made it to the harbor master yet.
Okay.
So we are walking to the harbor master.
Okay.
I'm going to stay with the boat.
You're going to stay with the boat. What's somebody else doing?
I'm going to the harbor master. And I've never sold a boat in my life. First time experience.
I best go with squishes, just in case all kicks off.
Squishes.
I'll ask the boy. I say, where is this place that we're supposed to go to? This Tabo's estate.
It tells you that it is in the where are we? It tells you it's on the southern side of the Merchants Ward. So what's everybody else doing? So Fook and Cade and Tackling are going to the Harbour Master's office.
Sell the boat.
What's What's Lou High and Obol doing?
I'll just chat with a lad and try and find out about the city, where places are, that sort of thing, or pick up places of interest.
I
Okay.
think we're staying with the boat.
Okay. Okay. Right. So he tells you that there's the city's split into different districts. So there's the Merchants Ward, which is on to the west and south of the harbour. So bearing in mind this map, north is to the right.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
sweet
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Who
clear.
do they keep doing that with maps?
What?
Can't
Yeah.
we
This-
just swap it around?
Is
There
it-
seems to be a thing with a lot of maps in 5th edition D&D. They just like have them. I don't know why.
Randomly pointing north in different directions for
Yeah.
every single map.
Rather than actual north.
Yeah.
Just flip the map.
Is it
I
possible to
can't
steal?
do it. I will get a one that's oriented the other way, but I can't do it with this one, I'm afraid. So you just have to bear with it for now.
Yeah.
At least there's a little compass rose down the bottom showing you.
So merchants are south and east, did you say?
So
South and
the merchants ward is south and west of the harbour. And inside the merchants ward is an area called Temple Hill and Throne Hill, around which most of the private villas of the merchant princes are. This, where you currently are, is the harbour ward. Outside the southwest gates of the city is the old city. To the south through the south gates of the city is an area called Malar's Throat. To the southeast is another sort of harbour area called Jahakka Anchorage. And to the east of the harbour is the Market Ward, which houses Mount Sabasa and the Colosseum.
Ooh.
You know this place outside, starting with M. Malachi.
Malar's
Oh,
Throat.
Okay, what is that exactly?
It's the name of one of the districts.
Is it a good neighborhood, a poor neighborhood?
All the areas outside the main city walls are poor neighbourhoods.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, so right. So meanwhile,
Master.
you go to the tackling Cade and Fafuk head round the harbour to the harbour master's office.
I'll keep my helmet on just in case I can hear anything, overhear anybody talking, I'll pick up any local.
Well, lots of people talking.
Right.
But everyday chit chat.
Okay.
And there's
I'll
a
keep
there's
talking
a
now
whole
anyway.
there's a whole mixture of languages as well, and people. There's native Chilterns, people from the mainland back up north. Let's see if we've got. Should have.
No.
Is what native Chilterns look like. Typical native dress.
Well, no cultural appropriation happening here, people. Move along. Move along. Although to be fair, that does look like sensible dress considering it's
I,
beamy jungle.
I
Is
can't
that
see.
the spear that
can't-
the statue had? The lady in red's got. I'm guessing. That's
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Can anyone share it in the Oh no, I can see it. Yeah, sorry, the schema.
It's
Looks
more
cool.
like a halberd.
I like the second one left.
It looks like a machete on a short pole, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a halberd type of weapon, more than a spear.
Yeah.
It's for slashing, definitely.
Stabbing.
Okay, right. So the harbour master's office is like a colourful, like all the other buildings that you can see in Port Nyanzaru. It's quite colourfully painted, and it's adorned with paintings of fish and sharks and sea creatures.
Yeah.
There's outside is a bulletin board.
In common.
It is. It's all written in common.
Okay, anything interesting on it?
It is the bulletin board provides names and whereabouts of officially sanctioned wilderness guides.
Okay.
There's a notice: all guides are officially sanctioned by the merchant prince Jabal. Illegal, unsanctioned guides will be prosecuted and sentenced to blinding, expulsion, and death.
Fuck me.
Is there anything else on the board or only this?
It's just advertising various guides.
Do we recognise any names?
No.
Okay.
All
Do it.
guides that can be found in the city.
How many of them on
Is
the
there
board?
like little pull out that's like them little things that you say if you're interested, take a ticket sort of thing. Like we put the store notes on.
No, it's just literally a list. There's like individual posts, like individual notes.
So how many people are on the board?
How many people are on the board? Let me just check for you. Oops. Good nightmare to navigate this thing. We're just going to look in the other book.
I mean, sorry, a rough estimate would do. Not.
Yep, I just need to check because some are in different places. So there's about 5 or 6.
Okay, so whole city here, and there's only 5-6 of these guys who can operate this business. Okay.
Cool.
So we go into the office or building if it's possible.
Okay, right, yeah, the door's open. There's a big awning covering the front, outside the front of the building, and the doors are open, wide open. And the shutters on the windows are open. Inside there's overhead like sort of fans, like little windmill things that are propelled like sending like cool air through the building.
Oh wow.
They're
How powered?
So you're looking around. There's like a series of like sort of gears and belts, but they appear to be connected to like water wheels.
Oh wow. Okay. Trafuk is briefly fascinated and then moves on. Can we spot the harbour masters? It obvious who it is.
So there's like a counter and desks behind the counter. There's a guy, a Chilton guy, stood behind the, attending to some paperwork at the counter.
Excuse me, sir. We would like to discuss some business in your harbour, if possible.
Right, looks up here, says, what can I do for you?
Well, 2 items of business. The first one is we have a boat approximately 30 foot long, single-masted, great shape, great for getaways. Number of oars come as well. We would like to sell it. What is the process, and how much could we expect to receive for it?
It says you can post an advertisement here at the here at the office with contact details.
Okay. And what would a boat of that kind, seeing that you have no vested interest in its sale either way, what would you kind of expect for that size boat?
It doesn't know. It'd have to have a look.
If you would be so kind, it's greatly appreciated.
Says I was kind of busy at the moment.
Okay. Is there a form to fill in to put our boat on the list of things to sell?
He sort of searches around on his desk, on the desk, and hands you like this sort of generic looking sort of form. Says fill that in and pin it on the notice board over there.
I have a look on the notice board. What's on the notice board, please?
Going.
There's like jobs, sort of like advertisements for crew, repair, people offering repair services for ships, or
Any other ship for sale on the board?
no.
Okay. I turn to my companions and how about if we try to bribe someone to offload the boat, for half price? I mean,
We
would
bribe
that be-
someone to buy our boat. That makes
No,
no
no,
sense.
no. What I mean, we give it to the harbor master if he pays on the spot, reduce price, and he can take the rest of the profit, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Is that an option, or is it a stupid idea?
No, I think you're a half-wit, not a halfling. I think that's an awful idea.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I never sold a boat in my life.
I
Trying.
knew you had half the person I was. I didn't realize you had half the brain. That's not how you sell things.
Listen, we need money. I'm starving. Okay, look at my belly. I'm starving. I'm halfling. I need
I could
food.
feed you a grape. I could feed you a grape. Tacklin could feed you a grape and you'd be fine.
I need fish.
There's a very cranky, hungry argument happening in the Harbour Master's office right now.
Wait, did Soshin just leave?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, ignorant git.
Anyway, so after Fafuk finishes up the form, says, "Thank you very much." Oh, the second thing I almost forgot. Where would information about the secret hidden base of a pirate cabal be worth the most? I assume there's a reward for pirates. Would the information about where these pirates are hidden be particularly valuable, considering we escaped the imprisonment and made our way here?
He looks up from his paperwork, looks a bit wide-eyed. Says, maybe you'd like to expand upon that?
Well, you see, my colleague, myself, and our party members who are on the sloop that we stole from the pirates to make our getaway, quite brazenly and bravely, of course, led by myself. We barely outran them. In fact, they were chasing us down to protect their secrets until we ran into that fucking floating island with fucking teeth in the harbor, which, we had to sacrifice quite a lot to save our lives. Anyway, you should post a fucking warning about that thing, by the way. Anyway, yes, we were held captive by these pirates in a secret anchorage they call Jahakka Anchorage. The location is quite hard to find unless you know exactly where it is. And after they revealed themselves and took us prisoner, we escaped, freeing one of the merchant prince's sons, and we made our way all the way here for the last 6 days of hard sailing, pursued by pirates. So yes, what more would you like to know? Rewards, I'm sure.
So that's very interesting. I'm sure Zindar, the harbour master, would be very interested to speak to you.
Ah, yes. I would love to speak to Zindara as well.
Unfortunately,
Though it will have to be soon because we're about to speak to Prince Atamo. We have a personal invite to go speak to Prince Atamo, so it needs to be quite soon if possible.
it says you're quite honoured, but I'm afraid I have no idea where Zindar is at the moment.
Well, tell him to nip off the shit, come through, and we'll have a chat. Or is he not like in the building? Is he somewhere else?
I have no idea where he is. You can leave a message for him, and
I would love to.
and he'll get back to you, I'm sure.
So just leave a message to him regarding where we're gonna stay. I mean, we are visiting that prince.
I know, halfling, I know.
Okay, all right.
Right, like two cranky couple. I know, stop telling me to do what I'm already doing. Anyway, right, to know.
By the way, Soshin just didn't just disappear. He said he's extended the invitation to come and find him at his mother's villa.
Yeah, yeah.
All
so,
right.
So
We'll
I sort
find
of,
out where that is from the lad as well then.
yeah. So I say we either can be reached via Prince Atamu or via Prince whatever Soshin's mother's name is.
Emiathar.
Thank you.
She's a princess.
Yeah, still just known as a merchant prince though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works, but yeah. So either way, I'll put it down and say, and obviously, civic duty plus reward, greatly appreciated, since we had to pay a fucking fortune to that floating island to make it into the harbor. And I hand it to the clerk and then say, Sir Tackling Cade, any other business before we head back?
Did you just call me Sir Tackler?
I might have done by accident. For Fook's
You are
rather tired.
delirious, yeah.
It's been a stressful few days.
You need a beer or something, too, buddy. Come on, let's get to it.
He got heat stroke.
Heat stroke.
All this hard, rowing, it's too much for you.
Not used to this like physical labor shit.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Right,
So,
and then
Let's
any
head
other
back.
business?
Let's head
cool.
back to the guys.
I'll find out from the lad where Soshin's mum's villa is then as well.
Okay.
And we head back to the boat.
Radio. Where's the time? Wow, it's much later than that. Okay, right, it's late afternoon now. Right, so what you're doing? So you return to where the boat rather is moored at the dock.
Then I suppose we meet up with the others and say, okay, I suppose Prince of Tarmo it is.
Okay, shortly after moments after you rejoin the others, a dock official, a harbour official approaches you and tells that there's a fee to moor the boat at the dock in the harbour.
This is awkward.
So ask him what would be the fee.
It says it's a gold piece.
Ah, fuck me. Do we even have that? Does anyone have anything?
No money.
It's a gold
wait,
piece per day.
I mean, we do have the bag. What was in the bag?
Was there any coins left in the bag?
No.
So it was just.
We have to sell them gems.
Only gems.
Well, I mean, how much is a gem worth? We could pay up front for like 50 days or something crazy, and then.
The,
But what if-
the main
what if-
gems that we've got in there are worth like 2,000 and 3,000 gold pieces. So we're
And
not
if we-
paying with one of them.
If we sell both tomorrow, then that's just a complete waste of money. Somebody else's problem then, isn't it?
Holy shit.
So I might have to go off and sell one of the gems.
Well, what gems do we have, Cade, in the bag?
There's a moonstone and a diamond are the two biggest ones.
Yes, and they are worth 5,500 gold pieces altogether.
I'd say we only sell one. I think the moonstone was the lowest.
Transparent blue, white, canary pink, brown, blue, and so it's 5,500.
Sorry, how many are there? Just 2 items in the pouch?
No, it's plenty of them. It's just
Okay. So what's
1,
the
2, 3.
smallest denomination we have?
It doesn't say. It's just combined prices. It doesn't say individual prices.
Oh right, so we could like pick the smallest stone and say it's probably worth like, I don't know, 50 or 100 or something, and say
I guess so. Ask Phil. Whatever he says.
Well, the moonstone were 2,000 gold pieces, I believe.
Yeah.
And the diamond was it 3,000?
Yeah.
So the other 500 must be from
various.
Yeah. There's
various
10.
other small gems.
There's 10. There's 10, isn't there?
No, it doesn't say. It just
Yeah. There were 10 small ones that were worth 50 each.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my note it says only this: a transparent blue, white, canary pink, brown, or blue gemstone worth 5,500.
So we've got 2k, 3k, plus
With
5
500.
times 10k.
No, 5.
No,
10
10 times.
50. 10
10
times 50.
times. 10
That's
times.
how you have 5,500.
I
3,000,
think
3,000,
if-
10 times 50.
If you get rid of the 10 small gems, sell them, and
Well,
then
can't
we
we
can
pay-
just use that money.
Well, agreed, but right now, can't we just give the dock guy like a 50 GP gem and say 50 days, please?
And how about if we sell the boat tomorrow?
That's fine. You
What's
can take
the-
it from my cut.
Okay, what's the boat worth? Do we know at all? Do we have any rough idea?
Zero idea, but it's going to be more than 100 gold pieces. Holy shit! It's probably going to be like 1,000.
Okay.
I'm taking a guess now. I mean, will the dock official take a 50 GP gem as payment for a month and a half?
Why don't we just cash it in and then just pay for like 5 days?
Yeah, fair, I mean, absolutely fair dues. I'm just aware it's late afternoon. I don't know if places are like near the harbour or it's going to take us like 2 hours to track a place down, and it's just...
Well, we're quite close to the Merchant's Ward anyway, so I would imagine it won't be that hard to find a jeweler in there.
So the harbour official tells you the jewel market isn't far from where you are.
Okay, fair dues.
Well, tell him we'll be back in a bit with the money then. One person stays here and then or a couple of them go off to sell the gems and
Yeah.
come back with the money.
Yes, he insists that somebody remains with the boat.
Yeah, I'll stay with the boat.
Okay, so the jewel market, which is literally called the jewel market, is here.
All right. It's only a short walk then.
Sorry, I can't see anything. Did you highlight something?
Yeah,
Oh,
put a green
yeah.
circle around it.
Okay, see it.
Kid and someone else then go and sell the jewels.
I'll
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I'll go as well.
Yeah.
I'll stay with the boat.
Right.
As well.
Okay. They wander off to the jewel merchant, and while you stay by the boat. So at this point, you notice the young lad still stood there. He looks up at you and says, "You follow now?"
Just a little bit longer. We just need to get some cash to pay for more in the boat.
Tell him
And
to be
then-
worth his while.
And then we can be on our way.
Right. He nods and sits down on the boat. Right. So you walk up through the streets, through the crowded streets, up from the harbour. So you got to either side of you is a tall hills that surrounded by high walls, and there's a large raised bridge that towers it's about 100 foot or so above that connects the two hills. And there's like all coloured. It's like everything else. It's all brightly painted. There's like all pictograms of animals and legendary heroes and coloured banners and pennants hanging from it. So you pass under there and quite easily find the jewel market, which is still like really busy.
Try and track down a merchant. I mean, we don't really know something, so I suppose.
Okay, so it's
grab
like
a few
it's like
passers-by and-
the old building is like is just full of like different like stalls and merchants that are buying and selling gems and jewellery and precious metals. And the like money that's changing hands is must be phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah, very good.
And again, like a lot of the city, there's as well as there being like local chultons, there's people from all over the Florence.
I ask a passerby, just like a random person or one of the vendors, where's the best place to sell some assorted gems? Ask a few different people, see if they can get a consistent answer.
Okay, right. You get directed to a few mentioned the same person, so you head over to this one particular guy who turns out to be originally from Greyhawk. He's not a local at all.
Oh, wow.
Is he human? Is he a dwarf?
He's human.
Okay.
Oh, it's quite nice to hear a familiar kind of accent, I suppose.
Human mon.
I wasn't going to do that. I nearly did, but I stopped short.
I suppose, introduce ourselves, ask his name. Oh, I assume we know his name at this point. And say we've got a selection of gems for sale if he was interested.
Okay, right. He is not really engaged in conversation. Very businesslike and very efficient. And he almost snatches them off you, and he quickly begins examining them with a spyglass and weighing them and checking the measurements and various things. And all the while he says, while he's doing this, he says there's a 10% fee for evaluation and exchange.
5? Come on, Greyhawk to Greyhawk.
Right, he glances up over the top of his magnified glasses. You can do business elsewhere if you like. There's a 10% fee.
I think
Cost you a
10%.
gem to have all of them appraised then.
Yeah, I think 10%. I think that's quite reasonable, isn't it? Last time we exchanged stuff, it was a bit more expensive than that.
15 it was back in Greyhawk.
I'll stick my mouth then.
My
Oh,
voice
go on
came
then.
through the ether.
Go on then, you've twisted his arm.
Okay, so which ones are you giving him?
Well, we don't want to appraise the expensive ones. We know their cost. We want the cheap
So
ones.
the
But we don't
50,
wanna pay-
50 gold ones, which are worth 50 gold, just one of those.
Just one of those.
Well, you want to? I would say just get rid of all of them at the minute because we need some cash.
Nobody's got any money. We're going to need to change all these.
Okay,
Get
then
rid of the
all
10 of them.
all 10 of them then.
Sorry, just to be clear, we're keeping the moonstone and the large blue diamond, and the rest
Yeah.
we're changing. Right? Okay.
Can I just playing devil's advocate? Can I ask why?
Because you don't
Yeah.
want to walk out of there with that much cash that they're just going to
I
rob you
guess.
immediately.
Yeah. And also, it's going to weigh more as well.
Oh yeah,
isn't it?
also be very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll shut up.
Walking out with a backpack full of gold or platinum.
Okay, right. Right, he checks them over and says, like as he does so, he begins pointing out that some of the stones have got flaws in them.
Doesn't that add character?
With anti-got, I know stone cutting. That's something different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I hold up one and say, this one kind of looks like a flamingo. You know, any flamingo enthusiasts would pay extra for this, wouldn't they?
He says, I suggest you find a flamingo enthusiast then, or you can take the 400 gold that I'm going to offer you.
20%.
I don't know, chaps. What do you say?
I think he's robbing us.
Take it for the moment.
Can I inside check him, please, regarding if he's
You can, yeah.
he's trying to rip us off or not.
Oh, I'm going to stop speaking actually because I'm not there.
Not as far as you're aware.
I just note then, yeah. Can you business?
Right. Okay. Right. He takes them and he disappears into the back and then comes back with a leather pouch, out of which he counts out 400 gold in platinum coins.
Ooh. He gives in gold.
Yeah, ask if you could do gold pieces for one of the platinum, just because we need gold to pay some fees.
He nods. He says, "I would have done that from the off if you'd have said." Right, he disappears into the back, and then comes back and gives you half in platinum and half in gold.
Thank you.
How many gold pieces in the platinum again?
5.
Oh, I thought the 10.
Yeah, I thought it was 10.
Have they changed it? It used to be 5.
Yeah,
Let me just
10.
check.
It's Electrum. That's 5.
Electrum's 5 silver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Platinum was 10 GP.
Alright, okay.
One
10.
platinum is 10 GP.
There you go, 10.
Right. We nod thanks and hit back.
So basically, we have 200 golds and 20 platinums.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coins. Yeah. Right, we head back. Pay the harbour master.
Okay, all the
sorry,
coins, all the coins as well have got like like different what's it called? Different currencies. They're all different mintage. You know, they're not all the same from the same source.
So they're
They're not all from just the local area. Then they're from
No,
all
there's
over.
none of them. There don't appear to be any of the coins. Don't appear to have like be locally minted.
Oh, fuck.
As long as the weight's right, it doesn't matter.
There's like coins from all over.
Yeah,
Some
but this is-
cities don't. Some cities don't accept coins from other cities.
no, this is
Clearly,
It's not-
this is a melting pot here.
this is a trading harbor. I'm sure they trade with different currencies as well.
A numismatist's dream.
No,
No, yeah, I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing?
We head back to the docks to pay our dues.
Okay. Right. So the harbour official isn't there when you get back, but he appears. He soon appears after you return.
Give him what? 5 gold coins.
Days, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's 5 days, thanks.
Right. He he says you'll have to accompany him to the harbour master's office, where he'll give you a receipt for that.
Sweet Jesus. Okay. Yep. Thank you. I'm surprised the the dock official isn't a little more organised and carries around some writing implements, but you know, who am I to
We've got
point out the
notepads.
inefficiencies?
Walks
Yeah, who
around
am
with-
I?
Walks around with a lectern.
Who am I to point out the inefficiencies of local business? Yeah, let's go for a walk.
this is not a business. You know, they are government. You know, it's not business.
Yeah. Anyway, head back to the harbour master.
Okay, right. So yeah, it's a you know, takes a few minutes, just a case of like he fills out some paperwork, signs it, stamps it, and hands it to you, which serves a receipt.
Thank you. And we nod to the little street urchin and say, "Lead us away."
Right, looks up a little bit surprised. Oh, you follow now?
We follow now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So the sun is setting, beginning to drop low in the sky, and setting sends like an orange and red glow across the harbour, and you follow the boy who takes off a quick walking pace, faster than you'd like, considering the oppressive heat. But with some effort, you manage to keep up with him through the mostly wide avenues. He first leads you west across several small bridges that cross narrow canals. The buildings all around appear to be warehouses. Then, after leaving through a garden gate, you can see several inns and taverns ahead of you, and behind them a much larger structure, some sort of stadium or temple perhaps behind them. The boy turns south and begins following the outer wall of the warehouse district as it curves around to the east. When you come to a huge covered marketplace, the boy stops and you watch as a large reptile pulls a massive cart past you. The boy grins and says a word you've never heard before. Dinosaur.
Yeah,
Then,
we've heard that, you cheeky little fucker. Carry on.
then when it has passed, he crosses the street and again heads south. This time you skirt the large marketplace. Finally, the boy leads you through a gate and a stone wall, and you're in a plaza with a large fountain. The statues in the fountain appear to be two bare-chested Chiltern women in a lustful embrace. Water cascading artfully down from the tops of their heads in frothy streams that give the illusion of hair.
Eek it.
It is a truly magical and beautiful fountain.
For Fuchs is entranced. Stands there
Thanks.
staring.
Ocean told us about dinosaurs anyway, didn't he?
No, he did. That's why I said we already know about them, you cheeky fucker.
You know, we have killed Old One Eye. That was a dinosaur.
The boy then opens one of the many gates on the outer edge of the plaza and says, Otamu Villa. After you've entered, he runs in through the open doorway into an entryway with an open water catch basin that probably leads to a cistern. The boy runs up to one of the uniformed guards sitting in one of the shady areas of the atrium and speaks in a fast, clicky, sing-song tongue of Chult. The guard pays the boy a few coins and then says in accented common, "Prince Utamu is expecting you. Follow me." The guard, armed with a strange weapon consisting of a 3-foot wooden shaft with a 1.5 long metal blade at one end, leads you first through a grand hall with a double staircase that is noticeably cooler than the heat outside, and then down a hall. At the end of the hall, he leads you into a small sitting room, and then back outside into a lush and well cared for garden with a small fountain at the centre. Everywhere there's like music that you can't sounds like an orchestra playing or a band playing, but you can't. It seems to come from all around, but you can't determine the source of it. And everywhere there's like glass globes filled with light and with no flames.
Yeah, he's a magic user, isn't he?
Right, sitting in the shade under a tree is a man who I will try and get a picture of if I can find the stuff in this jumbled mess of handouts. Not that.
Where are we on the map? Sorry, does anybody know?
Where are you on the map? I will show you where you are on the map.
You know, here, where that hill thing is.
Yeah, it's that
Right.
hill that's just to the
Because all,
northeast
So
to
it's-
south of where we landed.
So
Yeah.
this
That hill there.
here, this is a Tarmu's villa.
Oh, right, okay.
yeah, because all of them has got villas on this King Hill or something it's called.
Oh, what?
Some kind of hill it's called.
Market Ward. Mount Kibasa.
This is the Merchant's Ward, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, that's Market Ward. Merchants Quarter. Throne Hill.
The Throne Hill,
Temple.
yeah, not
Yeah,
King.
Throne Hill.
yeah.
This building's got a big golden dome, I believe. This building here. Right, let's try and
Not,
find this. City denizens. This should be it. There we go. Show art. Does that work?
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Oh. Nice build.
I've lost my other bit of text. Hold on. Right, as you walk in, he stands up and he says, "Welcome, my friends. I am Wakanga Atamu.
Welcome.
Please take a seat."
I introduce myself. Fook, cleric and bard of Alidamara. Partway through my grand tour.
I just, laugh a little bit. I stand up, introduce myself, kid, that is out. And I bow a little bit.
What's everybody else doing?
Same, introduce myself. The slight bomb.
Okay.
And these are the monkeys. I mean, the monks. Old joke. Oldie but goodie.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself as well.
Okay.
So we've taken us a while to get here, but I think we've also got a bit of bad news as well regarding the person that contacted you, who sent us.
You speak of Sylvana.
Yeah.
I am already aware of Sylvan's fate. Or Syndra's fate, sorry, not Sylvana.
Yeah. So I think you probably know a little bit more than us, but we've got an idea that the person we were sent here to try and capture was actually responsible for her fate.
He says, well, I don't know how it occurred, but we'll speak more of that later.
Okay.
What is it? What is it I can do for you?
Do you know about our mission?
I know of the death curse.
Okay, so we are very low on resources and we've been robbed, tortured, and whatnot. So we need lots of things, equipment, gold.
I will
spare.
help. I know of the curse, but but I know little of the details about it. But if you are committed to ending this this thing, I'll help as best I can.
We appreciate that.
Also, we
sorry.
Also, we were trying to find the soulmonger that Dyson had apparently also come to Chult to find, until we realised, obviously, after the fact that he probably was still in Greyhawk, or on on the Flanesh, should I say, sorry, and took care of Syndra while she was trying to teleport us.
I don't know of this Dyson that you speak of.
Because
right, we'll make him aware of who Dyson is then.
Okay, then while you're explaining sort of a bit of the sort of history of what's gone off, he summoned some servants to bring wine and food.
Poison?
Go on, sorry.
No.
It's part of a big organisation, isn't it? We haven't really found much about at the moment. Something that's we call the Cathazar, is it? That's the big boss, I think. And it all.
What you mean, this cult that they're part of?
So, the organisation that Dyson belonged to. The plans, didn't they, to create this population they could control.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll explain all of that to Tamu, and also about where the information came from the Lich, etc. And that we believe that Sildar is also dead, because we believe that Dyson was impersonating him before he interrupted Syndra's teleport, which is where it went awry and where we ended up down on the snout of Ongar.
Right. So again, he says, I'm afraid you have me at disadvantage. I know a lot of these names are not known to me. I do have an allegiance with the Lord's Watch, and my contact was Syndra.
Yeah, well, Syndra worked with or for Sildar. He was our contact in the Lord's Watch. And it was through working for him that we found out about Dyson.
And where does this person called Dyson fit into this? Is he responsible for this curse, for this soulmonger you speak of?
Um,
No, he's not.
not
No.
directly. It's just the organisation that he works for.
But
But
yeah,
he's working towards, obviously completing the work with this soulmonger, and it's him that's come to Chult, we believe, to complete this organisation's work.
I don't have any of that in my notes, I'm afraid, so I can't remember any of this.
Some of it's on the notes that in the journal.
yeah, Dyson works for them definitely.
So this Dyson, is he in control, in control of this soulmonger somehow, or has he come to seek it out, or?
We
Yeah,
don't.
he's come to seek it out.
It's part of a different organisation.
Yeah. Hang on.
Ah, so they are also seeking the soulmonger.
Yeah. From the bits that we had that remained of his papers, Dyson had contacts in cities throughout the lands, which suggested a larger group at work, a larger conspiracy. And it says from what little we could gather from the papers, there were no mention of any names of these contacts, though there were several references to something or someone named the Cathazar, who was apparently the authority above them all.
Right, he shrugs and says, "I'm afraid I don't know how much help I can be with any of that."
I just mentioned to him that so far you are the first one who is trying to help us. Everyone is against us, and we are trying to save the world.
He says, "Well, he says there are many different factions at work here in Port Nyanzaru. Some for the good, some not so.
So
So
what?
it is best. I would advise you to be careful who you speak to."
There was also something else that we needed as well. We were also looking for a temple to Mishalk in the local area, if there is any. Because we're looking for a total named Ial that we also need to try and find. In we'd heard that she was headed in this area. I suppose that's any information that you could get, or know where we could get either.
I asked him what kind of help he can offer us. Well,
Well, let's first get the answer on the temper of Miosholk and how
Says,
to track
"Why do
down
you
a
seek
Torpor.
Templar Misha? That's a Yantai deity."
Because we've been given a quest to return something that was stolen from a temple to Mishalk back on the snout of Omgar. And this total named Ial apparently was the one that stole the item.
You were aiding servants of Mashalk.
So they've got some information for us.
Yeah, they were one of the leads that we've got. They've got some information they could give to us that could help us. But we need to find this item and return it before they'll give it to us.
I fear you may have made a dangerous bargain.
Well, at the time, it was the only bargain we could offer.
I can see what I can find out.
Thank you.
The jungle is full of many abandoned cities and temples.
So I suppose to summarize what we're looking for, it is support and equipment to search for and find the soulmonger. You know, obviously there's supporting information and dice, and then there's organization. We want to find the Temple of Mir Shulk, find the EL, the Turtle, crystal goggles, and that I suppose is a slightly lower priority, but it does need doing, because
Whoa.
once we retrieve what's missing, we have to go back to the Snout of Omgar.
Yeah, but we can teleport back there, can't we?
We can teleport back there. The question is, once we can teleport back there, do we know how to teleport back to where we teleported from?
I think that was the thing between the temples. We could teleport between the temples. We had this conversation with the snake people, and they said that.
Yeah. The trick is, do we know it works for sure? It's not like a one-way trip, and then we've got to find another bloody boat to
No,
get back again.
They said that we could teleport, but we need to know where we're going and where we're coming from.
Yeah, because we always trust talking fucking snakes that we find in random temples in the jungle. It's always worked out well.
It's all we had at the time.
No, I know. I'm just, devil's advocate. We've been shafted quite a few times in the last few weeks. So,
have you been bit by a talking snake, though?
No, you have though.
I have. Yes.
So, I mean that's a summary, really, isn't it? A place to rest up so we can recover from exhaustion. Equipment, supplies, and support to track down the soulmonger, and a side quest, which we hope to achieve at the same time, is track down this missing Assyrian statue via the Turtle EL, and then hopefully save the world.
We also need to spend a day recovering, because we're all suffering from exhaustion.
Yeah, that was the first one, was rest to recover exhaustion. I mean,
Yeah.
does this prince have any thoughts about the mother of Soshin, whose name was Akima Afar? Was it Akima Afar?
Bikini Afar, I think.
So Sakina is a honourable woman. And she sits on the council of princes.
Well, we also rescued her son while we were on his way up here.
She's one of the merchants princes that I consider an ally. That is good news. We had heard that her son had gone missing. She'll be very pleased, and I'm sure indebted to you.
This is good news.
Well, we've been invited over to her place to sort of, I don't know, rest, recuperate, receive rewards for rescuing her offspring. So I suppose the question:
it would be considered rude to turn down such an offer.
Would you suggest going in the state we're in now, as obviously we're quite exhausted, or we're leaving it till a day has passed and then going?
I would recommend that you secure rooms while you're here in Port Nyanzaru. Perhaps the Thundering Lizard, if you fancy a more colourful environment, or maybe Kaya's House of Repose if you prefer a good night's sleep. Both are suitable places I recommend.
Oh, definitely need a good night's sleep.
I think Soshin said he'd put us up. At least, I suppose, he could put us up for at least a day until we get proper lodgings. He did offer that. But maybe we could speak to him first.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't be for me to say. I wouldn't know.
Okay.
It is. The hour is getting late. I would perhaps
Get
suggest
rooms.
securing rooms.
Yeah, secure some rooms first.
As I mentioned, they're both located near the Red Bazaar.
Get rooms, sleep, And we can visit that lady prince tomorrow.
Yeah, do that.
There's still much we need to discuss.
Like what?
The fate of God, I keep forgetting that stupid name. Of
Syndra.
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 So,
Yeah.
Syndra had a room here at my villa. Perhaps things would be easier to explain if we went there first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's
I
look.
mean,
He summons some more servants and has them clear away the food and drink, and then when they've gone, he gets up and asks you to follow him, and he leads you through one of the gardens, through down a corridor to a room on the far side of the villa. And he pauses briefly at the door. You may wish to pay your respects. And he opens the door into quite a like nicely decorated, if sparse room. There's like a veranda with like a lot of fruit plants and a fountain with these sort of animated like animated statues that are like powered by all these intricate water wheels and against one wall as you walk through the door, or rather partially in the wall, is Syndra.
oh dear.
Oh dear.
What?
She's embedded in the wall.
You rolled the worst.
Yeah. Teleportation went awry, it looks like.
Wow. I didn't expect that. Okay.
So, I mean, is she like rotting?
Strangely not. She appears to have been. It says he walks over and sort of tentatively taps her, and she appears to have somehow melded with the brick and plaster of the wall.
Like calcified.
Yeah.
Solo.
Oh, wow. I say a prayer to Aladamara, mainly thanking him for not making me turn out that way. So we ended up with a beach holiday.
Holiday.
Ooh.
I bow my head in respect.
So, do you still possess one of Syndra's maps?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, do
We
we?
have like, yeah, we got like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, right, because I didn't have mine.
No. Oh, when?
I thought they took them all.
They took them all, yeah.
Yeah, we lost them.
No,
I mean,
sorry.
I didn't roll for him.
Didn't we roll for them?
No, they were
took
just
'em.
gone automatically. It would have been the first thing they would have looked for. Once Lascalay made them aware that we had them.
Oh, high value, aren't they?
Yeah, because they were better than the maps that they'd got.
Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't paying attention because I think Fufuk had lost his
Oh,
water.
I'll just say now we don't have them. The pirates that took us hostage took them from us because they said to us that they were better than the maps that they had.
Indeed, I can imagine so. It took Syndra a lot of work to compile that map. Luckily, I do. There is one. It is one here in her room, and he walks over to a desk and removes a scroll case and hands it to you. Says,
Thank God.
try to look after this one. I believe this is the sole remaining copy. There were are many who would pay good money for such a map of Chult, and even more that would kill for it.
Can
Yeah.
I ask why? Surely it's just a map.
It took Sindra much work to put the map together, working from dozens of sea charts, logbooks, and explorers' journals. There's no other map that is single map that is as complete as this.
Okay. Could we have copies made? Is that something he can do, or we should arrange? You know, for safety's concern.
I could arrange for it, but it's better to keep the knowledge of it to a smaller circle as possible.
Into the pouch it goes. Good.
The
Yeah,
old prison pouch.
Yeah.
we'll do.
Beyond the walls of the city, the rule of Chult is that of the beasts and those with the strongest sword arm. While we merchant princes rule this city, we have little influence outside its walls.
Right. Right. No, thank you very much. I suppose we really appreciate the return of the map. I mean, has his research shown us where we should start looking for the soulmonger on this map, or perhaps he could add in the temples of Mirshulk, you know, if he could indicate a couple.
I will do what I can about finding out about any anti-temples. As for the soulmonger, I'm afraid what information may have had access to was died with Sindra.
Hmm.
Sorry,
But,
Sindra or
perhaps-
Sildar, or are they the same person?
No.
Sildar with a guy.
Sildar were the contact we had in Lord's Watch, and Sidra was the mage or wizard that tried to teleport us.
Then ended up in the wall.
Yeah, and she's the one that's ended up in the wall when she tried teleporting herself.
Well, I do mention to Prince Atama, considering he's a magic user, that I've tried to cast sending to Sildar a few times, but it's never succeeded. So my assumption is that he's died at some point, which is why our suspicion is that he may have been replaced by either Dyson or a doppelganger of some kind in the meantime. So therefore, my sendings aren't reaching them.
I asked the prince. I lost my pseudo dragon. This, ill-fated teleport. Does he know anything about Luna?
Says he's not seen or even is read of such a creature, but he's never seen one.
Okay.
So I suppose the question, chaps, is what do we actually want now? I suppose does Prince Atama have more to show us, or is it now the time to find a place to stay?
He says, I suggest you spend time speaking to people in Port Nyanzaru before you venture outside the city. There are lots of rumours going around, and at least some of them must be true. You might find information that will guide you out in the jungle.
Yeah.
But I also, as I say, our rule does not extend beyond the walls of this city. The Lord's license, a different thing is so the knights of the Watch took over control of Fort Belurian several weeks ago, and the Flaming Fist mercenaries are now patrolling the areas of North Chult and they are stopping and harassing all explorers they have found that have not bought from them a charter of exploration. So you should secure a charter if you can afford one. The Flaming Fist claim they treat the 50 gold piece price as a down payment for half of any treasure that explorers recover from the jungle, but it's far easier to smuggle those treasures out of Port Nyanzaru than it is to avoid all the Flaming Fist patrols. It's better to just have a charter handy rather than fight them all the time, or worse, become a target of their patrols for the rest of your stay here. And speaking of which, venturing outside of Port Nyanzaru is a dangerous prospect. Even though the peninsula interior is unmapped, there are still guides that can take you into the jungle, and I would suggest that you speak with as many as you can. One of the merchant princes, Jabal, deals in guides and sellswords, and I can perhaps arrange a meeting, or at least point you in the direction of some of where you might find some of the better guides.
That would be perfect, thank you.
It's also imperative that you are properly prepared for venturing out into the jungle. The Red Bazaar on the other side of town is your best bet at finding supplies for your journey at reasonable and competitive prices. Make sure you buy a rain catcher. You can't drink the river water. You might also want to make sure you venture out with a reserve of rations in case finding food becomes a problem. Additionally, insect repellent can be a godsend. At the very least, you should buy enough of the blocks to burn once every night before attempting to sleep. There are salves, but they are more expensive, but they can keep the insects away for a full day. Finally, if you're planning to take advantage of the rivers, buy yourself several canoes. Carrying them across land can be a pain, but when travelling up and down river, they can increase your speed dramatically.
So we need guide, we need insect repellent, and we need canoes
Rain catcher.
and a rain catcher.
I mean, we can create water, so it might not be as essential for us.
Create food too.
Correct, yeah. Plus, we've spent some time trying to understand the local fauna, so we should be able to, and flora, so we should be able to recognize safe foods to eat if we want to forage.
No,
Not. Okay.
not got anywhere near that level yet.
Okay.
Still working on that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So, I suppose we need a base of operations. So, I mean, is Prince Otamo willing to give us space within his villa to be a base of operation for our expedition?
He apologises, but is not. His invitation does not extend that far. Only those he considers family stay under his roof. He hopes you don't take offence.
No, no. If we grew up on the streets, doesn't give a shit, really.
Yeah, I recommend either the Thundering Lizard or Kaya's House of Repose, depending on your tastes.
Go for that House of Repose. So I'd rather stay somewhere that's peaceful and quiet. Try and get rid of this exhaustion. Get a full day of rest.
Yeah,
we should go to that quiet, inn, not the noisy one.
Is Prince Otamo willing to support in materials? Materials, money, useful equipment.
He says, "I'm more than happy to supply you with things that are available. I can sell you even sell you minor magic items."
Sell.
Oh my god, the goodness of his heart overwhelms me. Thinks for food quietly to himself. Discount price. Fucker.
Cell. Okay. Is
Well,
that the
how about we get some rest? How about we get some rest? Because I'm literally knackered, and also I think Fafuk is probably wobbling on his feet right now.
Yeah.
And then in the morning we can sort of plan of action
So
stuff.
I control the monopoly of potions and magical and scrolls, so I can quite happily sell them to you.
How about we exchange spells rather than sell and
I will
trade?
accept coin, gemstones, or jewelry.
No. I give you a spell, you give me a spell.
No.
Okay.
So we'll leave it for now. Like Fafuk says, just go and find this inn, get us rooms, rest, and then we can revisit everything in the morning when we've all clear our minds.
Sure.
So shall we call on Soshin's mother after brekkie tomorrow? See
Yeah.
what support she can provide, and then come back to Prince Atamo and see
So,
what he can do.
once we depart from his villa, so basically all the help what he promised us, it's all cost money. So there's no real help with resources.
Is
So we
given us
we need money. Without money, we can't do anything.
well, we do have, relatively speaking, a lot of money. I mean, we've got basically 5,000 gold pieces worth of gems. I mean, we lost a lot of stuff, but we're still relatively wealthy.
Not broke, are we?
No,
No.
but yes, Cade's right. We probably lost in total probably a good 2,000 GPs worth of stuff. If
Probably more than that.
include magical items, it's probably like close to 5,000 or 6,000
Yeah.
market value. So we've taken a big hit, but Alidamara works in mysterious ways. So
Roll
yeah,
my eyes, Phil.
yeah. So shall we go find this house of repose, book ourselves in, and then
Yeah.
once we can think straight, make a plan.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
good idea.
Wakanga leads you to the exit of his villa. It says there's one more thing before you leave for the jungle. Be sure to pay me one last visit, as there's one last thing I would like to discuss with you.
We might be back before that because we might need potions and
No, we'll be back. We'll
Yes.
be back.
Yeah.
But if
Thank you.
okay, right. He has one of his calls one of his servants and has them lead you to Kay's to the Kay's house of repose.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So this guy, the one of Wakanga's servants, leads you through the streets of the city, which is still full of life and still really hot. To a very sort of well-appointed looking building. It sort of stands separate from, detached from the others around it, and it's got the top quality sort of craftsmanship. And outside on the entrance are two bull-like humanoids.
Sorry, say again slowly.
Bull-like humanoids.
Bull.
Oh, minotaurs.
They stand about 8 to 9 foot tall and have huge bull horns and the face of a bull. And they're dressed in fine in like really fine posh clothing.
Answers.
This is gonna cost us a fucking fortune, isn't it?
It's so expensive.
probably.
Kate feels even tinier than.
I walk up to Fufuk walks up to one and goes, "I'm sorry, I have never seen anything like you. What are you?" "I'm human."
Right, he looks down and he says, "I am a Minotaur, sir.
So was your
Welcome to
dad a
Kayla's
cow,
House of
or was
Repose."
your dad a cow, or was your mom a cow? I mean, which one was it, or how did this happen?
I kick you in the leg. Oh, shut up.
I'm like, stop kicking me. I'm trying to work
He
this
looks at
out.
you a bit puzzled and says, "Are you wishing to enter the establishment?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully
no,
without any
Yes.
physical violence.
we are
Sorry,
going. We are
I
going
got
in.
totally distracted by your utter magnificence. But I'm just. So how did you come up? Was it like? Fufuk's clearly like trying to work out the mechanics of how a Minotaur happened. He wants details.
I think it's better if you just walk in before you escalate the situation.
Yeah,
Okay,
Fufuk's knackered.
this Minotaur, says if you go through the entrance, the maitre d' will attend to your needs.
We'll thank him and then drag Fufuk in after us.
I'm pushing him from the back.
But I've got more questions.
No, just shut up. Go. Just move on.
Okay, right. You walk up there, so there's like this velvety looking carpet with gold trim up the steps, and there's gold gilded light fittings with some kind of creatures inside these glass globes. You can see flittering about inside that are casting emitting light from them. Just inside the door, there's a tall man with greaseback hair and like some kind of suit, white suit with starched collars, and a long scroll on a lectern. And he looks you up and down as you walk in and starts making notes.
We want to find out the price before we commit.
Yeah.
Maybe we should name drop the fuck out of this.
So, as you know, say hello to him, and we are looking for some room and food. Is that possible?
Good evening, gentlemen. You've come to the right place. Welcome to Kaya's House of Repose. May I take your names?
So, Prince Atamo recommended your fine establishment, and I introduce ourselves from top to bottom. I'm Fufuk, partway through a grand tour, performing in venues large and small around the known world. This is my very tiny halfling friend, Kate.
I wave up from my point.
And these are our monkeys. I mean, monks, do apologize. I'm very tired. Obold and Luzai. And last but not least, obviously, Taklin.
Okay, right. While you're doing this, it continues to look you all up from head to toe and continues to write notes. So it's like this is like there's a desk, this lectern in the entryway, and beyond that there's a half spiral staircase. That it informs you is the entrance to the dining area, where you'll find the bar and the restrooms. Beyond that is the theatre, and the private rooms are located on the second and third floor. How many rooms will you require?
How big are the rooms? How many beds
The
are we?
rooms each contain a double canopy bed. They are each has its own foyer, a dining table, chairs, a dressing room, sofa and end tables, a closet and private bath.
This is gonna be expensive. So I guess we need like 3 rooms. No?
Yes, we would like 3 rooms.
3 rooms. So shall I who shall be taking rooms together? Shall I note? Are you couples?
Yeah. Yes, myself and the halfling will bunk together.
Fuck.
Okay, right. It makes a note of this.
Kid is laughing. What the heck?
Well, one of us ends up like a single, but I figure me and the halfling can bunk up. I assume the monks would like to share.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can train in the room.
Right. It makes
Is that what they
it makes
call
a note.
And
I'll
then
just-
the dwarf who snores can be in his own room.
I've just added another note onto the player journal, Phil, so you'll need to authorise it for everyone.
Okay. God, I've got so many folders on this. It's ridiculous. Player journal. All right. Player journal at the bottom. Which one is that?
Short notes 3.
All right. Okay. Configure permissions. Everyone's an owner. Do you have any special dietary requirements or any other particular needs that we may attend to?
No.
No, we are good. We eat everything.
Some good deep rest with good food.
How
Might
much
be-
are you charging for rooms? What is this gonna cost us?
We will provide you a bill on when you book out of the establishment.
Okay, when we're gonna be in the room, I will ask regarding what happens if we can't pay the bill. How we gonna leave?
Okay, well, you're not in the rooms yet.
I know, I know that. I'm saying when we're gonna be there, I will ask this privately
Okay.
because I'm a little bit, concerned. That's it. I know we are not there, but I will too.
Okay. Okay. So it is. So just to confirm, there's no special needs or.
The special needs are alright, but not that kind.
Breakfast is served at 7 a.m. Lunch at midday, and the evening meal at 6. There is room service available 24 hours a day.
I think this might be too decadent for tackling. I'm gonna go to other inn. Somebody give me some money.
I thought we'd already split the money.
Free?
Yeah,
How much?
40 gold and 20 platinum each.
That'll do me.
Oh.
You guys want to get rooms? I'll go get me on at other place.
That's not right, is it?
You what?
That's not right, is it?
No.
Yeah, well, 400 gold in total, 200 in gold, 200 in platinum.
So we had 20 platinum. If you divide it by 5, that means 4 platinum per head, and we had 40 gold per head.
Oh yeah, 4 platinum. Sorry, not 20 platinum. Sorry.
4 platinum, 40 gold.
Per head.
Right. So once he's confirmed there's no other like special requirements, he rings, picks up a silver bell and rings it a couple of times, and two men appear in sort of like red velvet suits and little caps, and ask to take your baggage.
What's left of it?
Food doesn't have any. He, takes things off to hand to them to carry.
Right,
It's-
they look down the nose a little bit at what, and likes to almost like pick it up with like tentatively pick it up as if it's you know.
I'll,
Stinky.
I'll carry my own
I
baggage.
think they can wash our clothing and everything. You know, clean
We
and fresh
provide a
laundry.
laundry service if you want to, if that is required.
If you think it's stinky, you need to wash it.
I think for Fuchs
By all
stood up in
means,
rags.
if you we will I will make sure the bus boys leave a laundry basket outside of each of your rooms.
Okay, not.
I'll carry my own baggage, Phil.
I'm sorry, sir, but I must insist that the bus boys take your baggage. It wouldn't do. It would give the wrong impression.
Yeah,
I
Robin.
hand over my shield, and I suppose we're still carrying weapons, right? No one's asked us for our weapons.
Dinosaurs floating around. I'm hoping I'm going to try and take my weapon off. Here's one of these things go barrel.
Yeah.
You don't need weapons.
Okay, right.
Me and Obo don't.
Yeah, so
I-
they take your sword and your shield and what have you, and then escort you upstairs to the third floor, and each to your own room. Well, your shared, each couple to your room. So
Yeah.
is Tackling not staying here?
Oh, I'll talk to the Minotaurs. I'll get them to point me to the direction of the dive, and I'll just go get my head down.
Right, there you go. If you must, sir, and they give you directions to the Thundering Lizard.
Sounds fantastic.
Okay, right. So your rest of you are escorted up to your rooms, and the rooms are immaculate. There's like these 4-poster beds with silk canopy and silk sheets and duck down pillars and mattresses. There's a separate room with a private bath that's it's all like got gilded feet on the bath and got working taps.
Kid is having a bath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you going having a bath?
Make full use of the room then, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to pay for it.
Right. It's
Go-
only
Go and piss in every corner to Marcus territory.
right. It's only after you've been in the bath for about 5 minutes you notice the bus boy is still stood there.
Shit.
Looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm in the bath. They see my willy. Fuck off. I tell the cleric, you need to pay for this. I'm in the bath already. Thank you.
I asked the bus boy what's he waiting for.
Just waiting for you to be dismissed if you know the requirements.
No, I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Right. It wishes you a good evening and leaves the room.
They're gonna piss in or spit into our food now. Fuck. You should pay him.
What? We're supposed to pay them?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never been in a place this fancy. How am I supposed to know?
I don't know.
He's wearing better clothes than I am.
He will come back with the Minotaur to ask for more money.
Well, I've got a few questions for this Minotaurs. I'd
No,
welcome
no.
another
No, you don't.
opportunity.
No, you don't. Listen, let's order some food, and when he brings it up, you tip him. Okay? And
Oh,
he will-
I think we should finish up some rations and then just pass out. What do you think?
Don't be so cheapskate. Order some food. How do I order food? There's no telephone here, is there?
No, there's no telephone.
Is there a rope with a bell I can pull or something?
There is actually, yes.
That's what Kate will do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I pull the rope and wait for.
Okay, right. You pull the rope. We're in about what? It can't be more than 30 seconds. There's a knock at the door.
See, magic. Come in.
Right. The same busboy walks in. Says, "How can I help you, sir?"
We require some food, wine. There's a pouch there, with my bag. Take some money in return.
Right. He reaches inside his jacket and produces a menu.
I pick some food. What
Okay.
do you want?
Fish and chips.
Oh, so we want some kind of fish and wine.
Do you want me to recommend something, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Very well.
Here's the most expensive things on the list.
It suggests something that has that's some kind of boiled fish with something he calls caviar and prepared in a certain way and marinated in some foreign liqueur.
Butter.
Okay. Does it, is there a price there or?
No, there's no
Right.
prices.
Oh my God.
Just think of it about like going into a Versace or a Louis Vuitton shop. Nothing has prices. If you have to ask how much it is, you can't afford it.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, Cage is not rich. I have like, I don't know, 40 gold and 4 platinum. Yeah, I ordered that and I ordered some wine.
Well, that's richer
We
than we
do the
were
dishes.
5 days ago.
You what? Sorry.
So it's richer than we were 5 days ago or 24 hours ago.
Okay, right. So yeah.
And I give him tip. Okay.
He says, "Oh no, sir. I'm not. I'm not looking for tips."
That's fine. You don't have to look for it. I just give it to you.
Says, "No, sorry, sir. It's against the rules. I couldn't possibly accept that. I appreciate the offer."
They'll get paid way more than your tip.
Okay, fine. It's a very strange establishment. Okay, look, custom different. Fine. All right. I just wait for the food and the wine.
Okay.
And I ask for folk, maybe you want to do some music, just pass the time.
I think Fafuk is literally going to eat and then collapse face down on the bed and just pass out.
Sure.
He's been sailing and rowing and being chased for 6 days. It's
Okay.
like
Want to listen to Fafuk's music at a disadvantage?
Yeah. That's I wanted to torture everyone in the building, not just me.
Didn't they
So-
say it's the house of repose? I might get myself evicted if I start screaming like a cat.
So I think after eaten and drunk some wine, kid will join in the same way, sleeping flat out, because kid is exhausted.
Sorry, chap. I'm afraid I've got to go. Got to walk some dogs. It's a good place for us to stop.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. So just
Yeah.
book. Tackling meanwhile. So you hear the thundering lizard long before you see it, and it lives up to its name. It's very raucous, very loud. Although it's not a sawdust on the floor kind of place. It's so it's still respectable, but very very lively.
Fine. I'm not after chocolates on my pillow. I just want somewhere to put my head down.
Okay, the room. So yeah, walking him through the door. Yeah, so speak and yeah, get the prices straight off the bat. So it's like 5 silver for a room, a silver for a tankard, silver for a meal that's like a set menu.
I'll have one or everything.
Okay, doke.
A room, a meal, and a drink. And then it's bedtime.
Ready, and I suppose we shall leave it there then.